Okay, thank you, Jayola Williams and Will. Will, what's your last name? Harris. Will Harris. I was just calling Will. Thank you. Thank you both. Fantastic. So as we walk through this journey in life, we can at times be tossed and turned by different circumstances and different situations and different experiences that we go through. We can occasionally get thrown off course and lose our way. We can now and then forget who we are. Well, if you know what I'm talking about, anyone here know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is a good month for you. You're in your perfect place right here, right now, because each week we are returning home. We are using the following words from Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, as our anchor. And the quote is, "First at home, in the silence of our thought, let us heal ourselves of fear, of doubt, of uncertainty, and let our lives be peaceful. Let our lives be whole. Then shall that peace, which is God, abiding within us, radiate from us." And then I also love this other one by Fillmore. Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity. I love this. "Let us not look abroad for power, for wisdom, but seek at home. There in the silent recesses of our own soul, we shall find the pearl of great price. The well of the living water must spring up within us. We are his beloved, and nothing short of his opulence will satisfy us." Isn't that a great one? I love that. I also, because the name of this talk is Returning Home to Peace, I would like to dedicate this talk today to Patricia Murray, who is the mother of Susan Murray Myers, and the mother-in-law of Scott Myers. So I'd like to dedicate that to you. Because it's returning home to peace, wherever that home is. Right now, we're having these human experiences, so the peace that we are embracing is that peace that can only come within us. And we return our journey, we continue our journey by returning to peace, even when we are in the midst of change. Because have you noticed that change is always taking place? Yes, it never stops. So I think I found inner peace. I went to a life coach recently, and she told me how to achieve inner peace was to finish the things that I started. So yesterday I finished a whole pizza. Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I finished that box of chocolate. I feel much better already. Maybe that's not your way to peace. Maybe that's not the real peace. But there is a way today that we're going to look at the way. And it's simple. I like things simple. You know, life can be so complicated. Give me simplicity every time, every time. Yes, yes, let's hear it for simplicity. Whoa. This is very simple, yet deeply profound. The mystics and the spiritual masters of antiquity have always known it, and they've always taught it. They have shared it, but most of us don't get it, and here it is. If you want peace, you must make a conscious choice to be peace, to be the peace that you're seeking, because the peace that you are seeking is not out here. It is within, and it is an inside job. Whether we mean peace in the family, peace in our community, peace in the world, whatever the peace is that we are looking for, it's a conscious choice that's made by each and every individual. And it is an inside job. And it takes one person at a time. It's the way it works. Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Peace is Every Step, is an amazingly beautiful guide to this idea. And the foreword of this book was written by the Dalai Lama. And here's what he said, the Dalai Lama. Although attempting to bring about world peace through the internal transformation of individuals may seem difficult, it is the only way. Peace must first be developed within. And I believe that love, compassion, and altruism are the fundamental basis for peace. That's from the Dalai Lama. And his words remind me of this beautiful, I think this is really beautiful, Chinese proverb. If there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. If there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And if there is order in the nation, there will be peace on earth. Yes. That is so beautiful. I'm going to put that in the newsletter next week. That'll be the opening part for all of us, so that we can share that again. And here's a fundamental spiritual truth. No effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, can be held in place without a cause to sustain it. Everything begins with a cause, which would be a thought. Therefore, I choose to be peace. I choose the consciousness of peace in order to experience the peace. Ernest Holmes, in The Science of Mind magazine in 1955, wrote this: "Let us realize if the world is to be healed of war and brought into peace, it won't have been because guns were bigger and better or more of them. We need them until it does heal itself, but that will come to pass only because somewhere along the line, the balance of the scales of eternal truth shall fall on the side of peace. Let us," he writes, "you and me, pray for peace, and let us make our hearts fit to accept it when it comes. Let us make our intellect and our soul and our will and our feeling ready to receive it and embrace it even before it comes. Let us, in the stillness of our own soul, go back to the ineffable presence, which is peace, and proclaim it even in the midst of confusion. That peace, which is the power at the heart of God." This is a peaceful God that we believe in. It's a unified field. We know we don't believe in dualistic God. Dualistic experiences are taking place in our lives. So we need to be clear on that. So we, as human beings, have dualistic experiences. Good and bad, and happiness and sadness. All of the two polar opposites we have within us. But the infinite, this divine energy that created all that is, was, and ever shall be, is unified. It is one power, one creative force. And the key then lies in remembering that our power to make peace a reality in our world lies in our ability to choose peace, to be peace in every situation, even when you're driving the car, in every situation. So I have 3 ideas that I would like to share with you this morning, and I trust can assist in that whole process of choosing peace. So 1 is realize our interbeingness, 2, to practice mindfulness, and 3, to be only loving kindness. So realizing, we'll go first with our interbeingness. The idea of that comes from Thich Nhat Hanh. And so I'm going to explain. You use, let me get my little prop, this piece of paper, okay? And on this paper, imagine that you see a cloud floating on it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Great. Because without that cloud, there would be no piece of paper. Say what? There would be no paper without the cloud. Without the cloud, there would be no rain. And without the rain, the trees cannot grow. And without trees, we cannot make paper. The cloud is essential for the paper to exist. If the cloud is not there, the sheet of paper cannot be here either. So we are to say that the cloud and the paper inter-are, A-R-E, inter-are. Interbeingness is not in the dictionary, but I really think it should be in the dictionary. So let us take this all a step further. If we probe more into the sheet of paper, we can see the sunshine in it. Because without the sunshine, the forest cannot grow. And so we know that the sunshine is also in this sheet of paper. The paper and the sunshine are inter-are. And if we continue to look, we shall see that the logger who cut the tree and brought it to the mill is in the paper. And with a closer look, we will see wheat. We know that the logger cannot exist without his daily bread. It could be gluten-free too for that. Gluten-free or with gluten, whatever you choose. And therefore, the wheat that became his bread, gluten-free bread, is in this sheet of paper. Looking at it even more deeply, we can see ourselves in the sheet of paper. This is not too difficult to see, because when we look at a piece of paper, this piece of paper, it becomes part of our perception. Your mind is here, and my mind is also here. So we can say that everything that exists is within this sheet of paper. We cannot point one thing that is not here. Time, space, earth, rain, minerals in the soil, the sunshine, the cloud, the river, the heat, you and me. Everything coexists together in that sheet of paper. And that is why the word interbe should be in the dictionary. To be is to interbe. We cannot just be ourselves alone. We have to interbe with every other thing. We need food. We need lots of things. Shelter. There are things that we require. And we require it in a community of humanity and of all of the animals and the mineral world. So everything is in that sheet of paper, because everything else is, we are everything else. And that was a lot to get across, but I think you get the idea of interbeingness. And just to shake things up, so it's a great, fascinating concept of how we are all connected. And we can look at just about any object and see that. So what does that have to do with our topic this morning, you might ask yourself? Everything. Everything. The first step in returning home to peace is to realize this interbeingness. And connect to our interbeingness is the realization that everything we could ever need, want, desire for our peace and happiness is already ours. It is already ours. We are a part of it. We are a part of the allness of life. We need not hunt for all of these things. We need not chase after them. We must just settle into them. And that is exactly what we do when we practice mindfulness, which moves us to our next concept. What is mindfulness, we might ask? Kind of know, but you know this. Being fully and completely in the present moment. How often is our peace disruptive because we are regretting the past or worrying about the future? As Martha Creek said, is it fact or a fantasy? Because the suffering lies in the fantasy, every thought that we've had after the fact. So I love a poem that I found, and I don't know who wrote it, but it's called I Am. I was regretting the past, fearing the future. Then suddenly, my Lord was speaking. My name is I Am. God paused. I waited. God continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I will be. When you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here because my name is I Am. Beautiful. A powerful, not a good one? A powerful mindfulness practice is simply breathing. A breathing exercise. And Thich Nhat Hanh is very famous in his book for these breathing exercises. Breathing in, just do it now. Breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Let me see big smiles. And so breathing in, dwelling in the present moment. And breathing out, I know this is a wonderful moment. It's the perfect moment. It's the only moment. Or as we follow our breathing, we can simply say, calming, smiling, present moment, wonderful moment. The idea of mindfulness is a way to return home to peace. It is not just a Buddhist idea either. It is in like all the world religions, and in fact in the Jewish tradition, a passage from the Talmud reads, "The inner peace of the world to come is living in this world with full attention." Living in this world with full attention. So how can you do that? Being only loving kindness, the third part of this talk comes in. Finally, we return home to peace by being only loving kindness. Practicing it as much as we can. Let me just say it that way, because I'm not going to always be loving and kind. I'm going to be unkind at times. Not on purpose, but it might happen. You know, unkindness and kindness exist in our polarity, but in the divine mind there is only this peace, this love, right? So Gandhi, quoting the Buddha, often said, hatred does not cease by hatred at any time. Hatred ceases by love. And there's a story told of Gandhi that he went into a village where there was this tremendous agitator. He was notorious for being an agitator. When Gandhi walked through the village, the guy walked up and grabbed him around his slender neck and started choking him. The people standing there were horrified. It is said that there was not even a flicker of hostility in Gandhi's eyes. Not a word of protest. No fighting back. No self-defense. He yielded himself completely to the flood of love within him. And in an instant, the man broke down like a child, crying, and fell at Gandhi's feet, sobbing. The people around him thought it was a miracle. For Gandhi, who was used to these kinds of miracles, it was the miracle of love. It only proved for the 100th time in his own life the depths of these words. Hatred does not cease by hatred at any time. Hatred ceases by love. Period. If we could get that, really live that, wow, what a different place. And you know what? Consciously, we can choose to do our best. That is what we can do. This is an unalterable law. It is a law. It is a spiritual law. Love, light, and love casts out any darkness and fear. So how do we return home to peace? Well, we will go along toward it if we can realize our interbeingness, knowing that everything is connected. All beings, everything, everywhere is all connected. And everything that we ever need is already inside of us. To practice, second one, mindfulness. Stay focused on the I am presence. This moment, right here, right now. And the third, be only loving kindness. Having only that consciousness of love. So there was a big, long meditation that I am not going to do. I'm just going to finish the talk because that big, long, we'll save that for another talk. So I think that you all get the gist of this message, my friends. Yes? Yes. To return home to peace can only be done through our consciousness, through our willingness to be kind beings, to be kinder than we've been. Yes. Just a little bit kinder, you know, in every way, anyway. Start with your family. It's a great place to start. If you want to practice peace, go visit all your family. You will have the opportunity to practice peace. And we must remember that there is nothing to chase after. All that we need is already present within us. And we can go back to enjoying ourselves, breathing, smiling, being the peace. So let us in this moment return home, which is within, to the peace. And so it is.